People you trust and defend will ultimately betray you. This is a game of suspicion. Well, I think your ideals should stay the same. Because phonies like you are what make the game more interesting. Don't you agree, Monokuma?
Do I? I don't know about that. Huh? Wait, what were we talking about?
I wonder when Daddy's gonna get his motivation back.
Yeah! If Father keeps slacking off, all the work is gonna get forced onto Mommy.
Huh? Mommy?
Komm schon, Monotaro, erinnere dich.
My head! I feel like I'm about to remember something, but I can't.
Hilf uns, Monotaro.
What's wrong, Monotaro? Pull yourself together!
Anywho, it's a blessing in disguise that Mew died and not me.
What you mean?
Because she wouldn't have said anything about what really happened in the virtual world.
Ja, offensichtlich nicht.
You guys would have had a way harder time finding the culprit, you know. She would have been able to lie about the virtual world settings as much as she wanted. And you'd never know that the murder actually took place in the virtual world.
So that's why she decided to attempt a murder, because she had total control.
Das war ja auch kein bisschen vorherzusehen.
Then the reason Mew was so insistent we go into the virtual world was...
You guys are only bitching because you haven't been to the virtual world yet. But once you go, you'll understand. Seriously, it's so fucking awesome. I know you guys will love it. And then you're gonna fall in love with me for showing it to you guys. So let's just dive right in, okay? We'll do it together.
She was insistent we go there so she could kill us. What a shady person. I was sad that she was gone, but now I don't know what to think.
Nice! Backstabbed by a trusted friend. See? That's an ideal fun situation! Now we can start a real class trial!
Hey, Kokichi sorta sound like Monokuma.
Really? I don't sound anything like him.
No, you're just like Monokuma. Both of you are cowards. You never speak the truth or show your true face.
Wait, coward? You say some interesting things sometimes, Kaito.
Smiling, putting on a mask, never saying what you really think. That kind of cowardice is just like Monokuma.
Daddy, they're calling you a coward! Aren't you gonna do something?
Yeah, I just gotta do my signature laugh, right? Hoo, 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 hoo. There, I did it.
He's completely lost his drive! Like a one-hit wonder who clings to their former fame!
My head!
Listen up, Kokichi. To hell with this game of suspicion crap. I will never be okay with it. I'm just gonna believe in everyone. Instead of suspecting my friends, I'm gonna find the truth by believing in them.
Well, if you think you can win this game like that, then sure, be my guest.
Of course I can. I don't need your permission.
How long are you guys going to argue? Let's hurry this up and continue. If we don't find the culprit, then we'll all die, you know that?
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry.
If we are going to begin searching for the culprit, let's start with Kokichi's story.
Huh? My story?
You were meeting with Mew, but she ended up as the victim. So it's only natural for us to think you're the killer, right?
Here's my answer. I never met up with Mew.
You didn't?
I tried to go to the roof to meet up with her, but the door was locked.
Oh, ich dachte, er hätte die Tür abgeschlossen. Ich dachte, er hätte Mios Plan schon vorhergesehen und deswegen die Tür abgeschlossen. Deswegen, ich habe schon gedacht, wow, okay, Mios absoluter Masterplan wurde von einer verschlossenen Tür durchkreuzt. Das wäre ein sehr, sehr treffendes Ende für sie gewesen.
Isn't lockpicking your specialty? You should have been able to open it easy.
I couldn't pick locks with my avatar body. I didn't have the tools for it either. Also, I never went to the roof, not even for the meeting.
I remember you and Gonta went off together when we first started looking.
But was the door to the roof actually locked?
Ja.
When I was on the roof before logging out, the door wasn't locked.
Ja, nein, war sie eben nicht. Stimmt. Und wer könnte die Tür verschlossen haben?
Huh? How should I know?
Then who locks the door to the roof?
I already told you.
When I went to the roof, it wasn't locked. So you gotta be lying.
Da hab ich mich verklickt. Entschuldigung.
What good would it be if I lied? I don't want to die either, you know.
Lying would do you a lot of good if you're the culprit.
Oh, I see. I didn't realize that.
What kind of response is that? That's suspicious as hell!
Wait, there's no point in arguing about that now. The truth will come out eventually.
Okay, vielleicht hat Mio zuerst die Tür verschlossen. Weil... Na, wobei, das passt von der Reihenfolge ja nicht. Kaito war auf dem Dach. Dann war Mio auf dem Dach und hat ihn ausgelockt. Und was ist dann passiert? Die beiden müssen ja vor Kokichi da oben gewesen sein. Dann haben wir einen Freiraum und dann wird die Tür verschlossen und Kokichi wollte aufs Dach gehen. Vielleicht hat sie sich im letzten Moment anders überlegt. Aber wer hat die Tür dann wieder geöffnet?
Before we get to that, we need to discover the truth behind Miu's death.
Truth?
There were mysterious circumstances surrounding her death. We need to make sense of those first.
Wow, Shuichi, you know your way around this game.
Naja, ist ja auch schon das 4. Glass Trial, also.
Yes, keep up the hard work. The fate of our lives rests in your hands.
So, what is this strange circumstance?
Kokichi claims it was Miu who chose the meeting place. But I'm wondering how she got from the chapel to the mansion's roof.
I see. Miu sent the bridge connecting the mansion and chapel into the river herself.
Oops, my hand slipped.
If that's the case, then Miu might not have even gone to the roof.
Huh? So she stood me up? It's very rude to break a promise.
It's true. First we need to determine if Miu was actually there or not. Did she go? Or was she never on the roof at all? Loud noise, Miu's corpse.
Miu was waiting for me to arrive.
Ja, natürlich,
Sure,
sie ist
she was
einfach...
waiting on the rooftop of the mansion.
Sie ist einfach
No.
durch die...
Miu should have been at the chapel. If you look at where her avatar fell, it's right next to the chapel.
How would she have gotten to the mansion? There was no bridge over the river.
A bridge would be the only way to get across.
So, her meeting with Kokichi...
She stood me up!
Ich habe nicht aufgepasst, ich habe noch irgendwas gesucht. At first glance it seems as if it's impossible for Miu to go to the mansion. But there has to be some evidence that shows it was possible.
Miu was waiting for me to arrive. I'm sure she was waiting on the rooftop of the mansion.
No, Miu should have been at the chapel. If you look at where her avatar fell, it's right next to the chapel.
How would she have gotten to the mansion? There was no bridge over the river.
A bridge would be the only way to get across.
Ja, nicht
So, her meeting with
unbedingt.
Kokichi...
Man kann...
Stood me up!
Warte, der Setting und Kokichis Avatar, war das nicht auf dem... Ah, nee, okay, das Setting meinen die. Nee, ich meine eher, dass Non-Human Objekte da durchgehen können und wir vermuten ja, dass diese beiden Screens ineinander übergehen. Also du gehst rechts raus, du kommst links wieder rein. Das wäre halt so meine Theorie, wie sie darüber gegangen ist. Wir haben noch den...
Mew was waiting for me to arrive.
Die Aussage von
I'm sure she was waiting on the
Tsumugi.
roof.
Mew should have been at.
Ja, sie sollte da sein, aber war sie ja nicht.
That's wrong!
Da haben wir das Problem an der ganzen Geschichte.
Mew must have gone to the mansion. We have a witness.
Yeah. When I was searching the dining room, I saw Mew pass by the window. Then why didn't you say so sooner? Sorry. I thought I was just mistaken at first. Since there was no way she could have come to the mansion. But I guess I wasn't mistaken after all. That was definitely Mew.
Then, how did she get to the mansion from the chapel?
It must have been some special method only Mew knew, like with that cell phone.
There's no doubt about that. That's why she dropped the bridge. If a murder occurred when it was impossible to cross the river, she wouldn't be implicated. She used a secret method to move from the chapel to the mansion for the murder.
She dropped the bridge to make a huge scene just to let everyone know it's no longer there.
Aber das wäre doch wohl jedem aufgefallen, oder?
So, what secret method did she use?
Also jeder normale Mensch hat auch gemerkt, dass da irgendwas nicht stimmt, wenn wir dann... Also nehmen wir mal an, einfach mal, dass Mews Methode Erfolg gehabt hätte. Jeder normale Mensch würde das dann, diese ganze Thematik oder diese ganze Aktion von ihr doch in Frage stellen.
It won't be that easy to figure out. It's called a secret method for a reason.
Danke, Himeko. Sehr hilfreich.
No worries, guys. As long as we leave it to Shuichi, everything will be A-okay.
What?
What are you saying? We can't just rely on Shuichi all the time.
Ja, doch, das macht ihr seit 4 Class Trials, also das passt schon.
This class trial's for all of us. We're here to solve this together.
Naja, die letzten 4 Class Trials habt ihr nicht sonderlich viel dazu beigetragen.
You would just slow down Shuichi.
Shut up!
I don't have time to deal with Kokichi right now. I need to focus on the case. I'm positive that Mew used some kind of special method to get to the mansion. Okay, I just have to figure out what it was. Ja, das haben wir ja im Großen und Ganzen schon herausgefunden. Entweder hat sie diese Palette verwendet, oder sie ist einfach durch den Screen gegangen. Na, da haben wir aber schon die Wahl.
Like a hidden bridge besides that signboard, maybe.
Or instead of bridge, Mew used some kind of vehicle to go over.
Or maybe she teleported with magic. Or she used a warp zone.
Maybe there's a place you could cross without a bridge.
A hidden route that only Mew could use.
I agree.
Ah, perfekt.
That's it, Kibo. There was a hidden route only Mew could use.
Was there really?
Mew modified the program to add a special wall to the world. The wall stretches along the y-axis, but we found 2 such walls in the virtual world. It's unclear whether Mew added the wall by the mansion or the wall near the chapel. We do know that that wall was set so that only objects could pass through.
Don't be naive, Shuichi.
Moment, was? Okay, Kaito, kannst du bitte auf Kokichi hören
What is it, Kaito?
und die Schnauze halten? Bitte?
Jeez, you set up a weird wall like that? That is suspicious, but it's got nothing to do with what we were talking about.
Oh Mann.
Nothing to do with it.
Huh. You don't even realize your mistake? Are you losing your edge? Oh well, my sidekick's mistakes are my mistakes. I'll make it right.
Danke für deine Hilfe, Kaito.
What we gotta figure out is how Mew got from the chapel to the mansion, right? So why waste time talking about the impossible? It's pointless. We gotta take a whole new approach here.
Now, wait just a second. It's not actually impossible at all.
But you just said so, didn't you? That wall Mew set up only lets non-human objects go through it. Humans aren't able to pass through. So Mew obviously wouldn't be able to go through that wall.
Ich habe nicht
Not
gesehen.
just an object after all.
Ah, okay. Da müssen wir es anbringen. Okay. Ich habe gerade gar nicht gesehen, was wir getroffen haben. Aber anscheinend habe ich das Richtige getroffen.
The wall wasn't the only thing that Mew changed. She also changed her avatar settings from human to object.
Wisst ihr, was ich mich manchmal frage? Wir haben ja diese ganzen Beweise, die wir gesammelt haben. Schauen sich die Leute vor dem Glass Trail diese Informationen eigentlich an? Oder teilen wir diese Informationen mit denen? Oder stehen die da einfach nur rum und denken sich die ganze Zeit, Also führen wir eine Ermittlungsakte, wo jeder auf diese Beweise zugreifen kann? Oder haben wirklich nur wir diese Beweise?
From human to object?
Which means the virtual world treated her avatar as an object. She could have passed through a wall that only non-humans could go through.
Is that right?
Don't get ahead of yourself, Kaito. We need to listen to everything Shuichi says. I already told you. The more you try, the more you cause us trouble. It's so totally lame that your own sidekick is dissing you!
Kokichi, enough! I wasn't arguing with him. I was just explaining.
I don't care. That doesn't bother me at all.
Ach, wirklich?
It just means even I make mistakes. Don't worry about it, Shuichi.
Okay.
It's pretty funny seeing Kaito try to act all tough like this.
Kokichi, please refrain from making such irrelevant and irrational remarks.
So, if Mew messed with the program and made a wall only she could go through...
Warte mal, wo wir gerade bei dem Thema Objekte sind. Als was ist dann Kibo klassifiziert? Er ist ja im eigentlichen Sinne kein Mensch. Er könnte durchaus als Objekt durchgehen. Das wollte ich nur mal gesagt haben.
Then her secret route was through that wall? That's it, right? Like using a glitch. I bet Mew had a hidden passage like that in the back of the chapel.
But even if she could walk through walls, was there really a hidden passage?
Ja, Entschuldigung. Ich habe gerade was getrunken und bin auf die Maus gekommen.
Because Mew said...
No, you're not trapped here. Beyond that wall is the end of the world, literally. Past that wall, nothing exists. Everything ends there.
She probably lied. There would be no point in going if there was nothing on the other side.
Mew lied. Huh.
I wonder what the truth is. There's no way to find out now.
That cum-soaked urinal cake was totally lying about there being nothing past the wall. She lived a life of pride, vulgarity, and secrets. Lying would be a piece of cake for her.
Kokichi, you no have to go that far.
Stop it! Don't badmouth Mommy!
Monotaro?
Listen to you, talking about Mommy like she was a terrible lying whore.
War sie?
But Mommy wasn't lying. There was no hidden route in that virtual world.
Oh, there wasn't, huh?
Hey! You can't tell them such an important hint!
Oh, if you say that hint is important, then I guess it must be true.
Oh, shoot!
Ah, jeez. You're lucky you're cute.
And was Kokichi saying all the stuff about Mew to get their caps to reveal something? I guess I should thank him, but I have no idea why he does things sometimes.
So now that we know there's no hidden route, why did she manipulate the program? If there's actually nothing past the wall, then that setting was meaningless.
Mew wouldn't have done something meaningless. She would have had a plan.
Yes. Mew definitely wanted to be able to go through that wall for a reason. We aren't sure why yet, but once we solve the mystery of the virtual world...
Mystery of virtual world?
There have been a lot of strange occurrences in the virtual world. If we can determine why, we will also determine what Mew was up to. We'll know why she wanted to pass through the wall.
All right, let's clear up those strange occurrences.
Yeah, Gonta will help, even though Gonta not know what you're talking about.
Speaking of strange occurrences, I'm just plain worried about that one thing. Remember? That thing that made us notice all the strange occurrences?
Die Events, das Letters, das müsste ja dieses komische Geräusch gewesen sein, was wir gehört haben.
This is it.
Und dafür habe ich bis jetzt auch noch keine
You mean the
Erklärung
loud
richtig
sound that you
gefunden.
and I heard in the kitchen?
What? What was that sound? It sounded as if something was struck very hard. It came from outside, but... Ach, warte mal, das könnte das Schild gewesen sein, was gegen den Stein geflogen ist. Das könnte es gewesen sein.
You all heard that sound too?
Yes, in the mansion's kitchen.
But that sound occurred near the chapel. How did you hear it all the way at the mansion?
First off, sound can't go past the map loading point. Did that sound really come from the chapel?
That sound was something hitting the chapel wall. It was real loud.
And we definitely heard it. We heard Kibo's voice as well.
Ja, Wie kann das sein? For now, let's go check outside and... for now, let's go outside and check... Oh no. What? That was Kibo's voice, right? I think I heard him outside. He sounded close.
You heard my voice too?
What? That is pretty strange.
Exactly. That has to be some kind of clue to the mystery of the virtual world.
Okay, well, let's check the answers later and try to find all the other clues first. There was another mysterious phenomenon in the virtual world, wasn't there?
Kokichi talked like he noticed something, pretending not to know.
Even Gonta is suspicious of me? I always thought you would be the one to trust me!
Ja, du weißt, du hast verkackt, wenn sogar Gonta dir misstraut.
Sorry, Gonta not mean it like that.
There's no need to apologize to him. He's probably just lying again.
What was the other strange occurrence? Did you see it, Shuichi?
Another mysterious phenomenon. Something that shouldn't be possible, like me on the mansion or that loud noise. I need to remember everything else that happened in there. Was gab's denn noch? Ob ihr die... Meinst? Oh, okay, warte, wegen das nochmal. Das können wir entfernen, das können wir entfernen, das können wir entfernen. Über was genau reden die da? Ich bin mir gerade unsicher. Ach, die meinen das Schild, was da auf Grund gelaufen ist, oder? Oh. So, okay.
I see it. The sign that we were using as a bridge was odd to me.
Odd how?
We mentioned it before, but Mew dropped the sign in the river.
Oops, my hand slipped.
We found it later, but there was something unnatural about it.
Finding the sign was definitely weird. I'm most confused by how the sign got there. I should remember exactly what happened with that sign. Alright, here we go. Oh nein, warum muss ich das denn zweimal machen? Oh nö. Oh, ups. Okay, die Steuerung ist gerade ein bisschen... Ah, jetzt geht's. So. Diese Passagen sind immer so lang und unspannend. Es ist ja eine nette Abwechslung hin und wieder mal, aber... Zweimal muss ich das jetzt nicht haben. Vor allem über 4 Phasen hinweg ist es ein bisschen... naja. Vor allem, ich habe auch keine Ahnung, worüber ich jetzt gerade reden soll, weil... Wir haben ja schon gesagt, wir gehen davon, oder ich gehe davon aus, dass das, ja, Schild einfach auf der rechten Seite rauskam oder auf der linken Seite wieder reinkam. Etwas über die Frage. Okay. At which point was the signboard swept away? Was? At which point? Menschen. Was? Dann River. Oh, okay. Ja, ich dachte jetzt, die gehen davon aus, auf welcher Seite. Aber... Okay. Ja, Möglichkeit Nummer 1 ist auf der rechten Seite aus der Map verschwunden und links wieder reingekommen. Oder das Ding ist halt, als es auf der rechten Seite rausgeflogen ist, einfach respawned und dann da drüben halt gespawnt. Das kann natürlich auch eine Möglichkeit sein, aber ich gehe ja von meiner ersten Theorie aus. Die passt doch mehr mit dem Gesamtbild überein. Dass die Map halt ineinander übergeht. Denn ansonsten hätte Mio ja auch keine... Where's the end of the river? Auf der rechten Seite. Ansonsten hätte Mio ja auch keinen Grund dazu gehabt, ihren Charakter durch diese Wände durchgehen zu lassen. Chapel Side. Ja, das passt soweit. Ja, Mann, ist das lang. Ah, na gut. Ja, bei euch so. Wie geht's euch so? Alles gut bei euch? Hattet ihr einen angenehmen Tag? Okay, wo haben wir das Heimbuch gefunden? Ja, auf der Mansion-Side. Mansion-Side ganz links. Naja, ich kann es schaffen, genau zwischen den beiden durchzufahren, da ich keinen von beiden aufsammle. Das würde dann wohl passieren. Das tut ja nicht mit. Ah, das kann ich die Zeit verlangsamen. Okay. Compared to the river's current, which way did the signboard float? Zur Chapel-Side hin, also nach rechts. Which way against the current? Was ja eigentlich keinen Sinn machen würde.
It appeared as though the sign was carried against the river's current. We all saw Mew drop the sign and watch the river carry it downstream. And the river was wide there. The sign should have traveled downriver toward the chapel, correct? It should have hit the wall on the far side of the chapel and stopped there. But that's not where we found it. We found it near the mansion, nestled in some rocks.
The signboard should have been near the chapel, but we found it on the other side.
Hold up. Didn't you stay on the chapel side? She probably grabbed the signboard from the chapel wall to cross the river. Then left it on the boulders near the mansion so she could get back.
Why would she leave the signboard where it could get swept away and leave her stranded?
Also, this has nothing to do with walking through the wall, right? We're getting off topic. We're so close to the truth. We just have to connect the how and what. All the mysterious things that happened have to connect with each other somehow.
Connect how?
A wall only objects can pass through. Sounds that shouldn't be heard. A signboard going against the river current. How are they all connected?
I don't know, but Shuichi should know, right?
What?
We would be in a lot of trouble if you didn't. The only one who can solve this mystery and save us all is you.
So, how are they connected? Do you know, Shuichi?
Ah, well, what we know so far is that the unnatural way the sign was carried is possibly related to the wall.
Hä, was ist jetzt die Frage? What clues related to the unnatural way the signboard was carried on the river? Also zum einen die Map und zum anderen die Wall. Ich meine, beides würde gehen. Ich würde einfach mal mit der World Map gehen fürs Erste. Ah, okay.
Oh no!
Dann das andere. Wo war das? Dann die Wand hier.
This is it!
Oh, okay.
It might have to do with a wall that only objects can pass through. The sign should have stopped at the wall on the other side of the chapel. But if that wall happened to be the one that Mew set to allow objects through...
I see. It's a wall only non-humans can pass through. That means the signboard can pass through the wall, right?
Even if it could pass through the chapel wall, how did it end up by the mansion?
Ach, und deswegen haben wir auch wahrscheinlich die Stimme von Kibo gehört. Als die in der Nähe von dieser... Ja, sie standen ja so rechts neben der Chapel. Und als Kibo dann was gesagt hat, weil seine Stimme... Es ist ja keine menschliche Stimme, ist ja mehr ein... Ja, nicht menschliches Objekt in dem Sinn. Deswegen wurde seine Stimme zu uns rüber übertragen. Ah, okay.
The only way it could do that is if the wall was a warp zone. But it's not, right?
That's right, that's the real issue here. How could the signboard pass through the wall but end up on the mansion side? What would explain that?
Leave it to me, Shuichi. I, your partner, will give you hints in times of trouble.
What?
This is the virtual world. We should throw away all of our common sense, okay?
Huh? The hell does that even mean?
Kokichi might be onto something there. We need to forget about what we know and just think about it. How did the signboard pass through the wall downstream and end up upstream? Putting common sense aside and focusing on the flow of the river, how did the signboard pass through the wall downstream and end up upstream? Downstream and upstream are connected.
That's it! What if both ends of the river were connected?
Huh? Both ends of river connected?
Exactly. To put it another way, the river isn't cut off at the wall near the chapel. It's all part of one big loop. The upstream part of the river is connected to it.
What? What are you talking about? Both ends of the river can't...
Again, throw out all common sense from your head. We're talking about the virtual world.
Then what about the wall? There was only one wall that could be passed through.
Right. Even if the river's connected and it goes through the chapel wall, it wouldn't have been able to go through the mansion wall too.
Aber was, wenn die beiden Wände... Ja, was, wenn das nur eine Wand ist? Wait, in that case...
I got it! I know why Mew only set up one wall.
What are you talking about now?
The reason she only set up one wall is because the chapel and the mansion walls... weil... das die gleiche Wand ist.
That's it! The walls by the chapel and the mansion aren't separate. They're the same wall.
The same wall?
It's not just the river. The walls themselves are connected. Don't think of it as two separate walls, but a single wall parallel to the y-axis. That single wall divides the entire virtual world. The idea is, you pass through the wall by the chapel and come out by the mansion.
Everything is starting to connect. See, didn't I tell you? Everything is connected.
Damn it, Kokichi! Just tell us...
Shh, it's okay. More importantly, this is the final stretch! If both the river and wall are connected, then you can find the secret. Shuichi, you already know the secret behind the virtual world, right?
The secret, huh? Yes, I suppose we should clear that up. We need to solve the mystery of the virtual world. Nein, warum möchte ich jetzt Hangman's Gambit spielen? Ja, das Mystery ist, dass die Walls connect. Irgendwas mit warte, C-O-N-N? Nee. Ich bin mir nicht ganz sicher. World? R-W-O-R-L-D vielleicht? Wie kann ich nochmal scannen? Ist hier irgendwo ein W? R-M... Oder ein Loop? L-O-O-P? Ah, auch nicht. Ich probier's trotzdem mal mit dem L. Nee. Wo war das denn? Unique Feature of the Virtual World? Naja, dass es ineinander übergeht. Vielleicht ein L? Ich hatte schon mal ein L. Ein R. Ein D. Ich weiß es doch nicht. Hatte ich das M schon? Oh mein Gott, das ist ein W. Okay, dann O. Dann R. Dann L. Hier das D. Und dann World, L-O-O, Loops. Was könnte das sein? L? Ja, okay. Dann, das war ein O. Dann noch ein O. Dann ein P. Und dann ein S. Das war erstaunlich einfach. Wenn man das W dann auch, für ein W.
The virtual world is a loop.
Wenn man das W auch als W erkennt und ich denke, es ist ein M. Das gleiche Problem hatten wir doch schon mal im... Ja, das gleiche Problem hatten wir doch schon mal im zweiten Teil, oder? Da ging es doch auch darum. Ist es jetzt eine 6 oder ist es eine 9? Oh, ich erinnere mich daran, das hat so ewig gedauert.
Loop?
things, right? Like, for example, when a character goes off the left side of the screen and reappears on the right.
Yes, exactly. The edges of the virtual world are linked together in a continuous loop.
The virtual world loops?
What in the world?
If that's true, it would explain the way the signboard was swept away. It vanished into the wall downstream of the river, came out of that same wall upstream, and floated with the current until it got caught on the rocks.
What was the world like before Mew added the wall?
Actually, there wasn't a wall on the y-axis at all, and the x-axis was set to loop.
Are you serious? Even if it is a computer program, isn't that too crazy?
Nicht wirklich.
A looping world. That's more extraordinary than even magic.
But at least it's not a boring answer. It also explains all the things that happened.
Huh? It doesn't explain everything, does it? Because we still don't know why we heard that one sound or Kibo's voice.
Yeah, sound doesn't go past the map loading point.
Actually, if we know that the world is a loop, we can explain that as well.
Huh? Really?
Yes, but first we need to be clear where the loop starts.
Where the loop starts. Doesn't it loop at the walls next to the mansion and chapel?
Not necessarily. If we heard a noise at the chapel from inside the mansion, then the loop...
Wait. From the chapel inside the mansion. Dann ist schon... Dann muss ich ja hier schon irgendwas wiederholen, oder? Vielleicht hier in der Gegend? Naja, Chapel nicht.
Oh no!
Wait. Wo fängt der Loop Point an? Irgendwo hier, so in der Richtung.
Oh no!
Okay, da bin ich gerade ein bisschen verwirrt. Da bin ich mir gerade nicht sicher. Aber der muss doch irgendwo hier drüben so liegen. An dem Punkt, an dem sich die Welt wiederholt. Im Menschen? Nee, auch nicht.
Damn it!
Es muss doch irgendwo hier drüben sein. So irgendwo in der Location. Hier beginnt der Loop Point. Alles andere macht doch keinen Sinn. Wo jetzt die Mauer ist, muss der Loop Point sein. If the Loop Point... Nee, ich habe noch nie gesagt, dass die X-Achse sich wiederholt.
Damn it!
Den Loading Screen meint ihr aber nicht, oder?
There! The map loading point was where the virtual world looped.
Wait, what?
We thought the loading point was in the middle of the map. But the loading point was actually at the edges.
So the wall Mew created wasn't at the edges of the world, but rather... her wall was at the center of the world.
I see. So the mansion and chapel were near each other, with a wall between them.
Ja, ich verstehe so im Großen und Ganzen, worauf sie hinaus wollen. Aber wäre dann trotzdem nicht die Antwort, die ich gegeben habe, ganz rechts neben der Chapel richtig? Ich meine, theoretisch ist der Loop Point ja nicht in der Mitte der Map, oder? Ich verstehe, was sie mir sagen wollen. Immerhin, das muss mir wohl reichen.
And any sounds emitted near the chapel would also reach the mansion. The wall only allows non-humans to pass through, so sound should be able to pass through easily.
That's right. That's how the virtual world works.
Impressive, Shuichi! For you to get this far! Yes! Yes! You are useful indeed!
For you to get this far? What are you, some villain pulling the strings?
Genau genommen ist das ja irgendwie.
Nope. Mew pulled the strings here, not me. Remember? Mew also set this trap. It all began when Mew showed us the map. Because of the map, we mistakenly thought the loading point was at the center, which in turn made the mansion and chapel seem farther away from each other.
But the structure of the world wasn't actually like that. There was a wall along the y-axis, and the x-axis came around in a loop.
By putting that wall in the center of that world, she cut off the loop.
So ever since Mew showed us that map, we were caught in her trap. But we solved this mystery thanks to Shuichi. All hail our savior!
Yeah, if Shuichi wasn't here, then we never would have solved this mystery.
That's right. Good work, Shuichi.
Thanks, Shuichi. You saved us.
You're welcome.
Just because we found out the virtual world's secret doesn't mean we can take it easy yet. Actually, this culprit hunt just got to the exciting part. Even if we know all the tricks, it's pretty meaningless if we don't find the culprit. That's how a class trial works, after all!
Kokichi talking like Monokuma again.
No matter what you say, I'm not gonna believe your lies. I'm gonna believe in everyone. That's how I'm gonna reach the truth.
Okay, wenn ich ganz ehrlich bin, dieser Satz geht mir so unglaublich auf die Nerven. Also, ja, ich kann es gar nicht beschreiben, wie sehr er mir auf die Nerven geht.
I can't wait to see what happens next.
Der ist so unglaublich inhaltslos und nichtssagend. What is Kokichi's plan here? He's definitely prodding at Kaito on purpose. Well, there's no time for distractions like him. What we have to do is find the culprit who killed Mew. It doesn't matter how many little mysteries we solve if we can't find the culprit. It would all be for nothing. But I still don't know for sure who it could be. Who used Mew's own plan against her to kill her? Who killed Mew?